Hi muckers and hi second channel. I really just tonight had this like feeling of like overwhelmingly like I want to sit down and film a second channel video. It comes and goes in waves, and I think it has to deal with, if I'm being completely honest with you, it comes from my own insecurity where I'm like, why do people like, okay, I understand why people would want to watch me on my main channel because I'm talking about topics, like why would people want to watch me on my second channel? So if I go mute on my second channel, just know that I'm very insecure. And that literally is what it boils down to. And that's why most of the time I post on my second channel is whenever I'm traveling, because I'm like, oh, I'm a little bit more interesting when I'm traveling. And I just kind of lose all confidence in myself to film. This isn't a sad video, I'm just like saying like that's where I've been. But anyway, I really wanted to sit down and film. There's a lot of things going on. Life is very hectic right now. It is currently Monday, the 6th of February at, well, nearly 20 past midnight. And I basically slept from, what time did I go to bed at? I think I went to bed at like 10 a.m. or like 9 a.m. or something like that. And I literally slept until 9 p.m. So I've been up since 9 p.m. And yeah, my sleeping schedule has been a lot better recently. I know that doesn't sound like it, but just tonight I kind of like messed it up a little bit. And a lot of that has to do with, there's a lot of stress kind of surrounding me right now because I have my landlord visit on next week, like early next week, and I'm really nervous about it. And there's nothing wrong with them at all, but it's just, I've already spoken about like I don't like people in my space, and I know this isn't my space because I rent it, but like whenever I feel like I'm, you know, somewhere in home, to have someone come in and inspect it and like, do they think it's good enough, kind of fills me with a lot of anxiety. So and I think ever since everything happened with Tyler, I've been a lot more protective over myself and my space. So it's gonna be very interesting. So I've been like crazy reorganizing the apartment, and I've been crazy like deep cleaning it. I don't need to be doing any of these things, but like I just want there to be nothing said, you know what I mean? Like if I have to spend, you know, like an extra day like deep cleaning, and you know what I mean? Like the apartment is always clean now. But, you know, like, I just kind of, I don't want there to be anything else other than, we all good? Yes. See you next 6 months? Kind of like that. So, yeah, I'm really nervous about that, and I'm kind of all over the place. But I have actually been having a lot of fun recently. I've kind of, like, I've spoken about the fact that I have this, like, new friend group in Brighton. I always had my original friend group whenever I moved out, and we've all kind of drifted apart. And the reason we've kind of all drifted apart, the original friend group, was because a lot of them have moved to London, a lot of them have moved kind of overseas, a lot of them have changed universities, they're no longer in Brighton, a lot of them have like relationships now, and then, you know, they don't want to hang out because they're in relationships. So my like original friend group that I, you know, was close with, I really want a Red Bull, but I know that that is such a stupid decision. Is it a stupid decision? Because I need to be awake, basically, all day tomorrow. But I know that I'm going to stay up tonight, because I'm going to watch The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Interesting. Okay, I won't drink one. But my original friend group, none of us see each other on a daily, weekly, monthly basis anymore. And actually, I'm seeing one of my, like, OG friends tomorrow. Oh, today, actually. That's why I shouldn't drink a Red Bull, because I have like commitments today, you know what I mean? We're going out to lunch, and I haven't seen her in a while, and you know, she's in a relationship now, so I don't really see her that often. She kind of just stays with her boyfriend, and she's working all the time, and all of my other friends are like literally in London, or they don't live in Brighton anymore. So it kind of put me in a position a couple months ago where I kind of had nobody. But I wasn't sad about it, I wasn't, you know what I mean, I was determined to find a new group of friends. So I started going out more, I started going to the cafe more, I started going to the club more, I started going to the bars more, I started going to the restaurants more, basically the park more, whenever it was Christmas time, the Christmas markets more. I was really putting my best foot forward to any person that I knew in Brighton. I would invite them out, and I'd be like, bring any of your friends. And then I kind of, you know, selectively chose like a group that I really like, and I'm like really close with them individually now, and then I've kind of, you know, been a part of like a bigger friend group now, and I can actually show you a photo to show you like how many it is. It's probably like the most amount of people I've ever been friends with at one time in my life that have been in like a close friend group, which is going to end in disaster. Like, they're all amazing. Hold on, let me show you. So this is all of us. Like, there is a lot of us. That is a lot of people, right? And I always get so nervous whenever I'm in friend groups that are like bigger than 4 people, because whenever I was, you know, younger, and like a year or so before I moved from Derry to Brighton, there was like a huge drama where I was in a big friend group and everyone was talking shit about each other behind each other's back, and we all just like despised each other and never told each other, and like it was awful and it was just so messy, and we were fighting all the time and la 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 la. And this is me being the nice version of it. I can get into the nitty gritty and say what they did to me, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to say we were all not the nicest to each other. And that's kind of always been my attitude about big friend groups. So now that I'm in one again, I'm like, But no, they're all really great people. And I think the difference is, I don't know, the vibe in Brighton is a lot more different than the vibe anywhere else I've ever been in the world. It's kind of just a lot more, it's a lot more freeing in a way. Like, everyone just kind of does their own thing, and it's a little, you know, judgy here and there, but I don't think any more than any other place, and I think it's a lot less judgy than Ireland. I think it's a lot less judgy than London, and I think it's kind of just like where I'm like happy being right now. And I was talking to my cousin about this, Neve. We were talking about like traveling and stuff like that, and she was asking me if I wanted to go to Paris this weekend, and I was all to her, I was like, no thanks. When have I ever turned down a trip to Paris? Like, when? But the reason for it is because I have this new level of anxiety around all of my animals, ever since I lost Tyler, that even if I'm gone for a couple hours, I start to ferociously panic. So I'm trying to work through that, because I'm like, you know, missing really exciting things and nice family time, and I really want to go home, but then I don't want to go home because I don't want to leave any of the animals. And it's like, I just have like a new sense of like attachment issues with all of the animals after losing Tyler, because that was so sudden. I'm like, you know, who's to say that won't happen with any of the other ones? So that's kind of where I'm at right now, and that sucks. So, because I really want to go home, this is going to be like one of the longest periods I think that I will not have gone back home to Ireland and won't have seen like my family and stuff like that, because I think the next time I'm gonna probably go back home is gonna be probably like April or something like that, and that's probably one of the longest like durations that I haven't gone home. And even then, I don't know if I'm gonna go in April, but what I am excited for is this new friend group that I'm friends with. I mean, we've all known each other for like a year, but it's just kind of like I'm new to the friend group, if you get me. We're all planning a trip, which I'm very excited for. It's like a 4-day trip. I think everyone else is going for like 6 or 7 days, but I'm gonna cap it at 4 days, because again, I have not left the animals in a while and I don't want to leave the animals. So I'm like capping it at 4. So we're gonna do 2 days in Leeds and 2 days in Manchester. Now, I haven't been up north in England basically ever. I don't think so. No, I haven't been up there ever. So this is gonna be new for me, and I'm excited to go to Manchester. I'm excited to go to Leeds. One of our friends is doing a gig, like she's hosting like a big DJ thing, and so we're all going up to support her. And we were gonna stay like in Leeds the entire time, and I was like, I always wanted to go to Manchester, like would people be down to go to Manchester? And so they were like, yeah, and they were like, we'll do like 4 days here, 4 days there, and I was like, even better, how about we do 2 days, 2 days? So it's gonna be hectic, but I'm very excited for it. And I've kind of like mentally, I know now that it's in March, so like a month away. I know that it's like a month today or something like that. So I'm like, okay, in a month's time, you know, I need to work through all of my like really kind of negative thoughts that come with leaving my apartment now. And it's so funny because, well, not funny, but I had posted a video on my YouTube channel, on this channel, called Dealing with Loss. And I don't know if anyone's seen it, but it was talking about how I'm always stressing about, like, losing my animals. And in the video, I'm like, you know, like, I don't think I'm gonna lose them for that, you know, amount of time yet. Like, I still feel like I have a lot of time with them, but, like, every day, like, I wake up in nightmares that I'm gonna lose them. Well, that came back and bit me in the ass, didn't it, with Tyler? But that goes to show that I've been consistent. Like, one of my biggest fears ever is losing my animals. So that's why everything happening recently really, really, really ruined me. And it was interesting seeing that video, and I was like, oh my god, I did not think, even whenever I was like, oh my god, the fear of losing them, I did not think that you could give me like a 6-month countdown and, you know, everything would come true in my fears in that video. But that has always been consistently one of my biggest fears, and it has been absolutely heightened. And it's almost like, what's the word? Like, almost really, like, conflicting and stuff. So I am working through that. It's fine. I know I'll be fine. Blah, 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 blah. But I've been, like, experiencing really bad anxiety and panic attacks recently, which is something that is not great, obviously. And I have cut back a lot on my caffeine because I was like, maybe it has to do with that. And then I was like, oh, it actually probably just has to do with the fact that, like, I'm really anxious now about everything that happened, and kind of, I just feel, you know, a little bit all over the place. And that kind of hasn't left. So I'm dealing with that, and it's kind of made me a little bit scattered. Like, I feel like I'm normally a well put together person, but I feel like I'm really not, as of recent. Also, to kind of switch the topic, in going out, like, a lot more recently, obviously, it's been interesting seeing, like, different dynamics between different groups of people and stuff like that. Not my group, but, like, other groups of people. Because, you know, you meet different people when you go out, even to, like, a restaurant or something like that. There's, like, a couple people I know going through breakups, and watching it unfold is really, really, really interesting. And that's kind of, like, a really bad thing to say, but, like, I'm friends with a couple people who are going through breakups, like I said. Some people I've known for a long time, some people I've known for a short time. And in some of the cases, I'm friends with both people going through the breakup. And it's interesting hearing what each person says about each other, the story. But number one, how they're both handling it. And it's kind of made me even more anxious to ever get in a relationship, because the way that people can speak about each other whenever they break up, or the way that, you know, things go down. And so that's just like an off comment that I wanted to make. It's something that I've been, like, really stressed about recently. We went to a lunch, me and 2 other people, a couple days ago. And we went to my favorite restaurant in Brighton, and I had the most rude staff experience of my entire life. Like, this place are so great, the food's amazing, staff's amazing, service is normally incredible. For some reason, they had it out for me. And I'm not even saying that as like oh, they had it out for me. They had it out for me. So my 2 friends, Neve and Corey, arrived before me, and they were like, we're gonna get a table for 3. I wasn't there yet. They went in just a little bit before me. They were like, can we get a table for 3? I was gonna get there at like 3:10. So I arrive at like 3:10, and the owner of the restaurant is like, oh my god, he goes up and he's like, we've all been waiting for you. You ruined this entire thing. We finally, you're here now. Something along those lines. And I was like, okay. And then sits us down at the table, and then the woman who is our waitress for the evening had the worst attitude with literally just me. And I knew that I'm, like, really nice when it comes to customer service, and especially, like, people in the hospitality industry, because it is such a rough industry. And I don't know if maybe me being really nice was probably something that was pissing her off on that day. Like, I get it. I mean, that's a rough job to deal with the public that much on a daily basis. But, like, for example, we were ordering, and I was like, so she sat us down, and she's like, finally you decided to arrive. We were all talking about you. And I was like, okay, but it wasn't coming across as a joke. You know what I mean? Because even my friends weren't laughing at this stage. So anyway, we're ordering our drinks, and my friend orders hers, Corey orders his, and I go, can I get 2 Diet Cokes, please? No. And I laugh, because I'm like, oh, you're telling a joke, like, you know what I mean? Like, no, you can't have it, you know, and then you're like, yeah, of course you can. So I didn't say anything, and I thought that it was just a joke. 2 Diet Cokes. I mean, you get a bigger tip based on how much I buy, you know what I mean? So the drink order comes around, and there's 1 Diet Coke. And so I just didn't make an issue of it, but I knew that she was being genuine. She was like, no. We genuinely all laughed because we thought she was making a joke. She wasn't. sorry, just staring at Garfield here is really traumatizing. She wasn't making a joke at all. So it was like weird, and we were like, okay, whatever. And I told my friends, and I was like, she wasn't joking. Like, she wasn't joking. That was so bizarre. Like, it was rude. So we were like, whatever. And so whenever we order our food, I'm like, can I get a Caesar salad? And I'm gonna get it with no tomatoes and no anchovies. No. What? And whenever my salad comes, not only, well, mine got put down on the table, but my friend's pizza got slammed down on the table. And she had pineapple on her pizza, so she kind of deserved to get it slapped down. My Caesar salad gets put on the table, and it had, so it wasn't slammed, so there wasn't any attitude with it. Anchovy and tomatoes in it. So whenever she was like, no, to me being like, can I get it without this? She was being genuine again. And there were just like, so many weird moments throughout that entire lunch. It was, because we just came from the club the night before as well. So we were clubbing until like 5 a.m. We went to bed at like 6 a.m. until like 2 p.m. Then we went out at 3. So we had our rest and we were, you know, very hungover. But we were being very pleasant, very nice, la 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 la. And I was like, there's not enough attitude that deserves to be given for me being 10 minutes late to an appointment, by the way, or a booking that my friends were already ready for. So anyway, I was like, okay, whenever we're like throughout the dinner, we were sitting for so long. And so I go to order another, I go to the bathroom and I go, hey, we're at table, whatever number it was. I was like, are we able to get like another round of drinks? Like, we're gonna do 2 Diet Cokes. My friend was also getting a Diet Coke and then a soda water. If I get around to it. What? What the hell? It was weird. It was weird. We never got them, by the way. It was so weird. It was really, really, really bizarre. Anyway, I mean, we had a lovely lunch. The food is so delicious, and normally we have the most, you know, amazing time in there, and I mean, we still had a great time in there. It was more so funny than anything like, oh my god, I'm heartbroken, but it was really weird. It was like the weirdest service I had ever been given in my entire life, and it was like, it didn't make me feel awkward or it didn't make me feel anything like that. It was just kind of funny and it was like bizarre and it was something for us to laugh about and something we're still laughing at, and it was just so bizarre. And I wonder if you have any of those stories where it's like, okay, I'm not gonna, you know what I mean, everyone has their days, and I mean, that job is also rough, and I'm not gonna blame the waitress, and I'm not gonna say she was being rude, I'm just gonna say it was like a weird encounter. Have you ever had that? I would assume in like a cafe or anything like that where you're just kind of like, what is going on? So anyway, that was what happened. I want to show you a couple, or what I wore to the parties recently. Because it was like the weekend, we had like a couple parties organized, and because I now know all these new people, they're inviting me to stuff. There was a pink party, which I wore this to. I kind of had these like cyborg-esque glasses, which were really fun, and I wore this, and everyone kept calling me Harry Styles all night, which I don't know if that was a compliment or not. And then the night before that, it was, what was the night before that? Oh, the night before that, it was one of our friends' birthdays. So I wore this like mesh see-through top. I've really, really, really been loving putting eyeliner on. You know I tried with eyeshadow, but I feel that eyeshadow, I feel like Jenna Marbles. I feel like too much Jean is in there. And I just want to put it all, and then I'm like, I look like I've been punched in the face. I feel with eyeliner, it's more frustrating and I mess it up a lot more, and I always clean it up with like a makeup wipe. But I'm enjoying how it kind of lifts my face. But anyway, we have that, and I've been having a good time recently, and I've been forcing myself to, you know, go to lunches with my friends, and I've been forcing myself to, even if I'm not in the mood, you know, going to the dog park or, you know, all these different things, just trying to get out of the apartment, because there was a period of time, I didn't talk about it that much, surprisingly, on my YouTube. I know I talked about grieving and stuff like that, where I literally just was not getting out of bed. The dogs were in the bed with me, and it was bleak. I felt pity for myself, like that's how bad it was. I was like, and then I was like, get over yourself. Like, the world goes on, you have other things that you have to be looking after, have to be doing. You have to get over it. You have to pull yourself together. And there was like one night where it was like I had not slept in, I think it was 2 days. I'm not kidding, it was like 2 days. And I was going crazy, and I couldn't sleep because I was so tired. I don't know if you've ever been like that, where you can't sleep because you're so tired. And I literally was like breakdown tears, and I was holding Tyler's ashes, and I was like, you've got to pull yourself together. Like, you've got to pull yourself together. And I kind of went through that for like a couple hours, and then I finally was so exhausted that I went to bed. And the next day was almost like a breath of fresh air. For some reason, I woke up really early the next day, and I was just like, okay, we're gonna go get coffee, we're gonna blah, 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 we're gonna go to dog park, we're gonna blah, blah, blah. And it worked. And I mean, every day, whenever I walk into my living room and I see those ashes, it's a reminder of something that shouldn't have happened. You know, he was really young. But I think I'm at the stage now where I'm like, if I allow myself to act how I was acting every single day, I will not be a good parent to Milo. I will not be a good parent to Gomez. I will not be a good parent to Dolly. I will not be a good parent to Bonnie. You know what I mean? And it's like, what's done is done, and I can't change anything that happened. I'm so unhappy with how things have happened. I'm angry with how things have happened, but I feel like I've finally accepted it, which is something that took a long time. And it's not that I feel that I'm moving on, but it's that I feel that I'm like, you've got to get on with yourself. Like, you've got to get on with yourself. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. And a big part of that was, you know, going out and forcing myself to go to more parties, or forcing myself to go to, you know, lunches or the dog park, like I said. And I feel like it worked. I feel like exposure therapy to doing stuff, exposure therapy to leaving my apartment worked. And I would say that minus the, like, remaining crippling anxiety and panic attacks that I have for some reason been experiencing the past couple of weeks, I feel that I'm doing a lot better. And I feel that I'm doing a lot better this year than last time this year. You know, I always talk about, you know, summer depression, I always talk about winter depression, I always talk about end of year, or start of year blues, end of year blues. This time last year, I was struggling. And I feel that I feel that I'm more mature in how I handle things now. I feel that my emotions are a lot more at bay. And I want to ask you how you think you're doing at the start of the year. I mean, we're through January, we're, you know, the first week of February right now. I want to know how you're doing. I want to know how you're feeling. I would say that I'm doing okay. But it's because I feel supported, and I feel that I'm, like, mentally balanced right now. You know what I mean? Before I go, I want to show you my Build-A-Bears that I bought for Valentine's Day. Now, whenever I tell you I went all out for Valentine's Day, I went all out for Valentine's Day. This is so frustrating. Why am I still single? Please don't answer that. No, I mean, I remember being in Derry and being so upset on Valentine's Day because a guy had asked me out on Valentine's Day and then cancelled on me an hour before. And from that day forward, I've never had, like, a successful Valentine's Day. And I mean, any, you know, Valentine's Day before that, I was too young to really know what was going on. I just kind of, like, I look around at my friends who are, you know, in relationships and, you know, dating people, or even just going on dates, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't like being on dating apps. Where else do you meet people? Like, I don't know. Like, I travel, you know, I go out, I don't know. So anyway, I thought that I was going to treat myself this Valentine's Day and to a lot of teddy bears, which I have done, and I've ordered myself a lot of Build-A-Bears, which are on the way. Financially smart? No. Emotionally smart? Yes. But I want to show you the two big ones that I got, so let me go grab them. Hold on. I really don't have that big of a collection at all. I kind of love, you know, whenever you go into people's rooms and it's like, it looks so crazy because they have so many. Well, obviously we have my OG, which is Floppy, my childhood teddy. This isn't the one from my childhood, like the exact one. Well, it is the exact brand and exact thing, but it's not the exact teddy. I got that one on eBay. Oh, I forgot about this one. Is one of my favorites. It sits by my bed all night. It is weighted, as you can see. I got, oh Jesus, it's so dusty. I haven't moved this from my table in a while. It is weighted down here, and my mom got this in LA for herself, or sorry, Disney, California. And I always regretted that I didn't get it. Then I went to Disneyland Paris and they had it and I bought it. We have mini Garfield. I ordered this Garfield and they accidentally sent me a small one. Then I had to buy the big one again, so now I have, you know, the family. And as we're aware, behind my videos I have this really terrifying Garfield, which, by the way, it's just like the difference is shocking. And I have Jack, which I got in Paris. I got it at the Disney store in Paris before I went to Disneyland, and I kept it in my bag all day. I don't know if anyone remembers my like vlog or pictures from that day. I don't know if I vlogged that day actually. Then I have this, which was Disney Paris again, Christmas time. This is obviously Stitch with the little Christmas hat, which is really, really, really cute. I just realized I have a couple teddies in the other room. I have the ones the muckers got me for my birthday that always stays in that other room with my other Build-A-Bear, but I'll just do the ones that are in here. Anyways, I always wanted the small green frog that Build-A-Bear had, and then they released these like limited time big ones for Valentine's Day, and obviously I had to get it. Practical? Not really. I mean, they literally both cannot sit on my bed while I'm sleeping on it, but I love them so much, and they're, you know, quite heavy and cuddly, and, you know, they will mask, you know, the fact that there's no one else here hugging me. Depressing? Possibly. So, we have the green one, and we have the pink one. I actually have not named these, but for some reason, while I picked her up, I want to call her Sally. She's kind of giving Sally, right? Anyway, they're both so cute. Let me hold both of them. And I love them. Hold on, let me get them. Beep. Beep. How sweet and cute are these? Anyway, I really love them. And then, I got this, by the way, in Urban Outfitters. My brother always had an Ed Hardy jumper like this, or like a jacket, whenever he was younger. And whenever I saw this, I couldn't believe it. And it was in like the Urban Outfitters like vintage collection. And my brother had this probably in like 2007 or something like that, 2008 or 9 or 10 or something like that. So whenever I saw this, I immediately thought of, oh my god, my brother had that jacket whenever he was younger, and I wanted it so much, but my parents would not buy me it because my brother had it, and they didn't want us, like, matching or something, I don't freaking know. So, anyway, I was able to buy myself it, which is exciting. Anyway, let me move this over again. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate, sitting down and talking. Let me know how you're doing. I'm looking at my Smurf collection right now and it's just so silly. I appreciate you being here. I hope you're all having a great night, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Mwah.